Article 7. Domestic Policy. The domestic policy of the United States Federal Democratic of Khorasan shall be regulated by laws on the basis of social justice, an open society, the integrity of citizens' rights, the supreme interest of Khorasan, national interests, economic prosperity, development, balanced development and prosperity, and public participation in political, economic, cultural, educational, religious, and social affairs in the federal government and the states. Article 8. Foreign Policy. 1. The implementation of foreign policy is the competence of the state. 2. The state, taking into account the principle of balance, equilibrium, and basic principles, political independence, territorial integrity, and loyalty to the land and mother tongue, regulates foreign policy on the basis of national interests, the supreme interest of the country, non-interference, neutrality, mutual good neighbor lines, scientific, cultural, economic growth and development, peaceful coexistence, preservation of territorial integrity, and independence of national sovereignty to the whole world. 3. The state, based on the principle of balance and equilibrium, concludes economic, cultural, political, and security agreements with countries of the world. 4. Treaties, covenants, bilateral and multilateral agreements, and international treaties create legal value after being ratified by the House of Representatives of the federal government. 5. The provinces of Khorasan do not have the authority to independently conclude international and transnational treaties. 6. Based on the principle of balance and equilibrium, effective cultural, economic, political, and security treaties with countries and people of the Persian-speaking cultural, civilizational, and historical sphere and their neighbors are the priority of the value-based foreign policy of the Federal Democratic United States of Khorasan. Matters related to foreign policy are regulated by law. Article 9. Compliance with international regulations. The United States Federal Democratic of Khorasan shall implement the provisions of the Charter of the United Nations, interstate treaties, international covenants, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which are not in clear contradiction with the text of the Holy Quran, the accepted social customs of Khorasan, and this Constitution, after being ratified by the House of Representatives. 2. The state, considering the importance of the fundamental principles, political independence, territorial integrity, and loyalty to the land and mother tongue, is responsible for preventing any agreement that causes foreign domination and oppression, colonialist ideology, exploitative tendencies, weakening the economic process, weakening Khorasani culture, weakening the Persian language for the purpose of totalitarianism and aggression. Article 10. Implementation of the law. 1. The state is obliged to implement the provisions of this Constitution, other applicable laws, and international documents listed in Clause 1 of Article 9 of this Constitution. 2. The state is obliged to maintain public safety and order, maintain independence, defend territorial integrity, raise the level of the country's defense capability, the unity of the nation, ensure security, expand popular sovereignty, and maintain the federal system modeled after Switzerland. 3. The state is obliged to protect human dignity, respect the human rights of citizens, establish a civil society, social welfare, prevent discrimination, tyranny, human oppression, and religious superiority, guarantee and defend the freedom and fundamental rights of citizens inside and outside the country. 4. The state is obliged to fight against all kinds of terrorist acts, crimes against security and public interest, human trafficking, exploitation of human power, and deviant programs. 5. The state is obliged to establish a sound administration in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. 6. The central government and the state governments are obliged to establish an independent census office and conduct a census of the country's population every 10 years. The affairs related to the Population and Statistics Office are regulated by law.